Good evening, guys, and welcome to another episode of Life with Perry Martins, the podcast. The first thing I want to say is that the real gift of Joseph, remember Joseph in the Bible? Joseph that later became a prime minister, in Egypt, like they told us in the Bible. But he actually became second in command, according to the scriptures, to Pharaoh in the scriptures. So, the real gift that he has, or he had, and he traded with, wasn't the gift of interpreting dreams. That was not the real gift, right? And I was just thinking about that story this evening and thinking about us as people. Have you ever seen people who are immensely talented, but they can't hold down a job? They can't hold down a responsibility. They are always getting into trouble. They are always, quarreling. Have you ever employed someone like that? Very talented, but zero character. No character, lots of attitude, lots of ego. Have you ever seen people like that? Right? When you remember people like that, you would notice that the real gift that Joseph has wasn't really the gift of, okay, I'm actually walking down the road and I'll make it. Okay, so the real gift that Joseph had wasn't really that gift of interpreting dreams. No. In my opinion, that was not the real gift. Because there are lots of people who have gifts. There are lots of people who have amazing talents, who are uniquely skilled in certain things. But you can't be in a room with them. They find it hard to work with people. So remember when they say that talent is not enough? This kind of story reminds you that talent is not enough. Talent is not enough. That you need more than just talent to be successful in life. Let us look at that story of Joseph. The Bible said that Joseph was in prison, and he had two other guys in the same prison with him. One was Pharaoh's baker, the other one was Pharaoh's cupbearer. And the Bible said that one of the mornings they woke up and he noticed that the countenance of one of the guys wasn't good. The guy was looking sad, downcast. There was something about his countenance that was not good. Now, the Bible said that Joseph noticed it and asked the guy, "What is happening with you? Why is your countenance downcast this morning?" My brother, my sister, it takes someone who cares less about himself and more about other people to notice that another person's countenance is low. It takes I'm trying to see how I can really drive this point home. It takes someone that is selfless and not selfish, open and not self-centered, to be able to notice that another person is having a bad day. It takes a different type of personality and a different type of grace to be able to understand and get that point, and then even care to ask. Because we live in a world where everybody is all about themselves. The world has never been more selfish than as it is now. Everybody is all about themselves, to the point that even when you greet people who are strangers, they look at you as if something is wrong with you, as if you are abnormal. And I'm that type of person. I come into a place, I want to greet people, I want to smile, I want to be happy. And then, traveling out of the country and experiencing first world, first hand. I'm going to explain what I mean by first world, first hand. We in Africa, we are still a little bit communal. In the first world, people are all by themselves on their own. So in developed cities, even, I'm living in Dubai now, I noticed that the Asians, that is the Filipinos, the Chinese, the Arabians, the Arabians, that is the Egyptian, Moroccan. So the Africans, we are more communal than the people from the West, than the Americans and the Britons and all. Those ones, they don't talk to people. I'm not saying all of them, but there's a general character, right, that is very prevalent in those places. So for that reason, it becomes really difficult to interact. It becomes really difficult because people are on their own. They want to stay on their own. They want to be on their own. They don't want to interact with anybody. Unfortunately. So what am I saying? I noticed as I studied that scripture that the real gift that Joseph had wasn't the gift of interpreting dreams. No. The gift of interpreting dreams couldn't have come into play if the gift of caring about other people was not in play. The gift about caring about other people, the gift of being selfless, was the real gift. Because it was that gift that made him to notice that the person that he was sharing a room with had some challenges. And that opened the door to the next gift, which was the gift of interpreting the dreams. Because if you sincerely and genuinely care about people, they'll be able to open up to you and tell you what their challenge is or what they are going through. Now that opens an opportunity for your giftings to come into play. So if you are not the type of person that cares about people, and that's why I keep telling my pastor friends that if you're a pastor, you have to be a people's person. You have to genuinely care about people, right? Because it's only when you genuinely care about people that people will be able to open up to you and you'll be able to minister your gifts to them. If you are not the type of person that is a people's person, you care about people, you're genuinely interested. The word genuinely interested in people reminds me of the book by Dale Carnegie. That book that talks about how to make friends and influence people. That's the title of the book, How to Make Friends and Influence People. And one thing that Dale Carnegie keep hammering in that book is that you have to be genuinely interested in people. And he likened it to a dog. How a dog would see people and just be excited and happy, wagging their tail. How a dog loves unconditionally, their master. Unconditionally. They just love unconditionally, right? I'm not saying that you should go and become a dog. No. But what I'm saying is that for you to get things out of life, there are two types of people. There are two types of ways to get things done. And there are two types of people, that are out there, right? So in the business world, there are two ways you can get what you're looking for. You either go trying to solve the person's problem head on, or you go genuinely interested in the person, genuinely interested about their well-being, genuinely interested about them and their life and their person. And the truth is that the first option, which is just to go with your solution, right, or go with what it is that you want, will probably get you a rejection, actually. But the second one, which is to be genuinely interested in the person, is going to get you more than just a business deal. You will end up having a friend. You end up having an acquaintance at the end. You will end up having a friend and an acquaintance at the end. That's what you will end up having. So every time you have an opportunity, be genuinely interested in people. And unfortunately, I lived in Lagos for almost 13 years, and I attended one of those big churches where literally everybody that is coming to the church is, not everybody though, but majority of the people who are coming to the church are coming for their next connection, their next business deal. So it's that kind of church where everybody's looking to prim and proper. If you're not driving the latest car, your friends will be few, or your admirers will be few. That kind of church where, it's all about the success. And if you're not smelling like success, or you're not looking like success, sorry, nobody will want to interact with you. Nobody will want to talk with you. A lot of, so more like a church that literally just, sort you according to your class, one of those churches. And one thing I noticed is that it's always about the connection, the deals, the connection, the deals. There were no genuine interest in people. It was just about the connection, the deal, the next connection, the next deal. So everybody that is coming to church, or most of the people who are coming to church, were just coming, trying to, get their next connection, secure the job, or secure the deal, meet the CEO, meet that big man, meet that big boss, to be able to get one thing or get another, right? And that is the entire concept or thing with Lagos, and with not even only Lagos, with other many places. Every time people see other people, what is at the back of their mind is my next meal ticket. How can I get connected to this guy? When people see a successful person, in fact, when we all see ourselves, I'm thinking of how can I take advantage of you and your net worth to do something for myself. That is the general mindset about people. That is the general mindset in the corporate world, in the entire success world. I am trying to get connected, for example, and let's say now that I'm looking for a job, right? And then I'm attending a particular church, or I'm going to meetings, or probably going to what do they call it? I'm going to one maybe sports club or something, like I'm in Dubai now, so there are people meet people in conferences or meetings or sport clubs and stuff like that. So sorry guys, I'm walking down the road, so I'm sharing my thoughts as I'm walking. So because of that very materialistic, superficial type of interaction and connecting with people, there is no genuine relationship. So everybody is on guard. Even the CEO that you are trying to connect with is on guard, because he does not want to interact with someone who just wants to use him for his or her next connection or next deal, right? So immediately they give you the opportunity, you go away. So we do not have genuine relationships anymore. And I think it's actually the same thing, right? So what Joseph had going for him was that genuine interest in people, genuine connection with people. He was concerned, and it's something that we have lost in our generation. It's something that we need to begin to go back to. And you are going to sound and look weird when you begin to do it, but you have to do it because it will direct to you genuine people. Because a lot of people are going through stuff, including the person that you're looking at now, who is looking all prim and proper, look as if they have $1 billion in their account, they're driving the latest G-Wagon, they're working in some big corporation, or they're running some big business, they're quoting numbers. You don't know what they are going through. And that is one thing I had to learn very early in my life, that everybody is going through shit. Everybody is going through shit, no matter how they look like, no matter what the perception they look like. People are using clothes and perfume to cover up a whole lot of things. Hi man, good evening. Yeah, people are using clothes and perfume and cars to cover up a lot of things. People are in debt. People are on drugs. People are living on alcohol. People are living all sorts. You don't know what people are doing to get their money. So many times, people are looking for a genuine person to talk to, a genuine relationship to be in. Genuine friends who are not after their checkbooks, but after their well-being. Genuine. And you have to be that type of person. You will sound weird, you will look weird in the initial times, but when you succeed, you will get a genuine friend. So imagine, like, let me use a place like Dubai now, right? That I am in. There are a lot of wealthy people here, a lot of really rich people, here, right? And everybody's in their class, in their game, in their thing, right? But the truth is, people are going through stuff. As long as someone is a human being and they are, breathing in, they are breathing in oxygen and, pulling out carbon dioxide, they have something. And if you are a genuine person, you can inspire, you can be a listening ear, a shoulder to lean on, not necessarily, and because of how monetized our society is, so people think everything's about money. No, everything is not about money. Sometimes what people are looking for is just someone to understand them. That's what people are looking for, someone to understand them, someone to say, what, I got you, I understand you, someone that they can call and talk to. That's what some people are looking for sometimes. So I don't want to drag this podcast for too long. Please subscribe. Please share my podcast. Some of you that have come for the second and the third time, if you're getting anything, if I'm adding any value to your life, please recommend my podcast. It's on iTunes, that's Apple Podcast. It's on Amazon Podcast. It's on Google Podcast. I'm trying to make sure that this podcast gets out there. It is Life with Perry Martins, and I'm just sharing about life, and I'm sharing about my experiences. I'm sharing from my life experiences, sharing from my faith, sharing about things that I have been through, seen, done, experienced. So thank you for always listening to me. Have an amazing day. Bye.